Hi everybody, so today's lesson is all about your writing skills and translation skills, particularly from English to Spanish. So first of all, make sure you've got the worksheet ready, and then let's go with starter, which is here. You need to select the most appropriate verb form and indicate if the sentence is in the preterite, present or near future. The first one has been done for you. So this links back to last lesson with using three tenses. Number 1. Normalmente comí como voy a comer palomitas. So the three choices are comí como voy a comer. The reason why como is highlighted in yellow is because that is the suitable verb for this sentence. And we know that because of the time phrase normalmente that is used at the beginning. So, because if we translated it for each verb used as an option, normally I ate popcorn. Normally I eat popcorn. Normally I am going to eat popcorn. Doesn't make much sense for the preterite and the near future, so that's why we say como and we indicate that it's the present tense. See if you can do the rest of them by yourselves and come back for the answers in about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, so here are the answers for the starter. Let's look at how we know that number 2 is the near future. That is because of the phrase at the beginning, el sábado que viene, meaning next Saturday. Literally, it translates to the Saturday that is coming. So, next Saturday, I am going to wear trainers. Number 3. Ayer vi un partido de fútbol. That's the preterite tense because ayer means yesterday, our time phrase. Vi, our irregular past tense for ver, to see. So I saw a football match. Number 4. El domingo pasado. Pasado hinting at the past. So last Sunday, fui de compras. I went shopping. That's why it's the preterite tense. And number 5, esta tarde voy a salir con mis amigos. The reason why it's the near future is because you're saying this afternoon I am going to go out with my friends. You might argue that you could say I go out with my friends, but it doesn't sound too natural, so that's why we go for voy a salir. Make sure you've marked those, corrected them, and let's look at some writing skills. This is so that you can develop your writing and translation strategies for your translation assessment that is coming up after this lesson. So, with writing and looking up certain words, there are some things that you need to know, particularly when you're using the internet, because as we all know, Google Translate does not accurately give you what you want to say. But it's making sure you can pick out the right things. So let's start with looking up nouns. If you were to look up a noun in a dictionary, you would see these little letters, NM and NF. And that's to indicate whether the noun is masculine or feminine. And it will also give you the translation. So padrastro, which is stepfather, and canción, which is song. Remember, before a noun, we have either the indefinite article to mean a, an, or some, and the definite article to mean the. So if I wanted to say a stepfather, un padrastro. If I wanted to say the song, la canción. And I know that because it's telling me it's a feminine singular noun. If I were to look up adjectives, you would see this little bit here, ADJ, to mean adjective. The dictionary or any website online, except for Google Translate, will tell you the adjective in its masculine singular form. So that means you then need to change it so that it agrees with the noun you're describing. So make sure that you're changing them depending on the gender and quantity. So if it's singular, OA, and if it's plural, OSAS. So here is an example using word reference. This is a fantastic website and it gives you lots of access to brilliant vocabulary. So let's look at the noun manzana. I have gone into wordreference.com, made sure that my dictionary is Spanish to English, typed in manzana, and here I have NF to mean it's a feminine noun. And then I've got the translation here. For adjectives, I'm looking up cansado. I've done exactly the same, but as you can see, I've got a couple of results here, but they both tell me they're adjectives because of ADJ, and then I can choose the appropriate version of the translation. So, using word reference, I want you to find the Spanish for these 6 costumes, really, what these costumes represent. Write the masculine feminine article with each noun, so is it going to be un, una, el, la, and come back for the answers in 5 minutes. Okay, so hopefully you've got the answers for these 6 costumes. A vampire in Spanish is un vampiro. Explorer, you may have got a couple of answers for this because it changes for masculine and feminine. You could have had un explorador or una exploradora. You can remember this by thinking Dora the Explorer, Dora la Exploradora. Pirate, un pirata. You might be thinking, oh, but that's feminine because it ends in an A, the noun. Incorrect. Some nouns in Spanish always form in the masculine way. For example, an artist is always going to be un artista or una artista. A witch, una bruja. A clown, if it's masculine or feminine, you've got to go for un paisazo or una paisasa. And a wizard, you could have a male or female one, un mago, una maga. Okay, we've got to look up verbs as well. So exactly the same as nouns and adjectives, you are going to find them in their infinitive form, these verbs, so infinitive ending in AR, ER or IR, and they're going to have a little V to say that they're a verb. So I have this verb here. It's not in its infinitive form because with word reference you can search verbs in the person form. So I'm going to type hablo into word reference. As you can see, I've got an alternative here, but I'm just going to ignore it and click search. And it shows me that I'm searching for hablo, but it immediately tells me as I look further down that this is the infinitive, hablar. And if I want to see it in other tenses, I can click on the arrow and it will present to me every single tense that I need in the person. So present, imperfect, preterite, future, conditional. You've got the pronouns as well. So yo, I, tú, you singular, él, ella, he, she, nosotros, we, vosotros, you all, ellos, ellas is they. Ignore vos, this is Argentinian Spanish and not used unless you're in Argentina. As you saw with the adjective example a couple of slides ago, you can have some results that give you more than one answer. So it's making sure that you're choosing the correct version of what you want. This is a fantastic example because some people might say top as in a t-shirt top or a bottle top, but obviously you can see there's loads of different reasons why we need to be careful. So top, it could be the peak as in the peak of a mountain, top of a mountain, cumbre. Upper part, so upper part of a body, parte, superior, upper part of a building, el superior del edificio. Number 3, top, blouse, blusa. So there's lots of ways we can look into this. Thinking about these different meanings, I want you to go back to word reference and do the same as you did with the previous task. Watch out for the different meanings, write the masculine and feminine article for each noun, and I just want you to be using the indefinite article this time. So you've got sock, pants, cape, tights, shorts and watch. Come back for the answers after 5 minutes. Okay, so hopefully you have got these as your answers. So a sock, we're just looking at one, so it's un calcetín. Pants. Some of you may have seen the answer pantalones, but if you noticed on word reference it had US and UK as your options because pants in America are our trousers and our pants, as in our underwear, are their trousers in America. So I was looking for unas bragas because they are based on this photo, and the Spanish also say unos panties as well if you want to say that. Cape, una capa, quite straightforward. Tights, you could argue these look like leggings or leotard leggings, so you could have said un leotardo, but we were going for the literal meaning of tights, so unas medias. Shorts, unos pantalones cortos. You could have also written unos shorts because they are putting a lot of English phrases into Spanish at the moment, but this would be more authentic. And watch, we wanted the wrist watch, not the verb to watch or someone who is watching guard. So it's un reloj. Okay. So translation. You will have a 50-word paragraph to translate from English to Spanish. How would you go about translating from English to Spanish? Pause the video, have a think, and come back. Okay, so the way I would go about translating something is to look for the following. The tenses or the verbs used. Tengo, tuve, voy a tener. Got our present, past, and future there. The vocabulary used. If I read the paragraph first before attempting anything, I can see the topic, I can see what vocabulary is being used, and I can start to think or make notes for what I need in Spanish. Adjectives and how they would agree. That's very important because in English it's not something we consider, but in Spanish we need to make sure we've got the correct word order, so the adjective comes after the noun, and it agrees, so is it masculine, feminine, singular, plural. And the last one is anything that indicates time or quantity. So, todos los días, de vez en cuando, cada lunes, lots of things there. Let's take a look at these sentences below. Using the checklist from the previous slide, how can you break these down in order to translate them? You're not translating now. I just want you to use this key below to highlight these parts of the sentences. So where are the verbs in English? Where are the adjectives in English? Come back once you think you've done it. Okay, so hopefully your sentences should look a little something like this. Everything that's in red are our verbs or tenses. So number 1, we've got is and play. Number 2, went and was. Number 3, I am going to play. Number 4, I am going to wear. Remember these here, to wear and to play, are still verbs. They're just in their infinitive form. And same here, it is going to be, near future, and to be being our infinitive. Adjectives in green, so we've got white because we're describing the colour of the t-shirt, great for both of these. Blue, what it's talking about, so this is going to give me my vocabulary, so passion, about a sport, which is basketball, a tournament, a match, clothes, here, t-shirt and a cap. And then in purple, we've got time phrases, so every day, last year and next week, and that's going to help you a lot with these verbs and tenses. Now is your opportunity to translate them into Spanish. Come back once you believe you have translated them and do use your knowledge organizer in the checklist to help you. Okay, so hopefully your English has translated into Spanish and these are your answers. The reason why you've got 2 options here for the time phrases is because you can say next weekend in the form of el fin de semana que viene or el fin de semana próximo. Mark these and then come back for a paragraph translation. Don't worry about a paragraph. It's no different to sentences. It's just been clumped together. So, before you attempt this translation, I would like you to read it first and then use the key, decipher it into the different colours and the categories, and then I will tell you when to go on the translation. Okay, so hopefully your paragraph is looking a little something like this. And now is your time to translate. You can use your knowledge organizer, your book, previous lessons, and the techniques to use word reference as well from earlier. If you think you're feeling all right and you want a bit more of a challenge, spend 5 minutes without any resources or help, and then use 5 minutes to use your knowledge organizer to check anything. Imagine this is a tape 10 in class, and come back for the translation answer. Okay, so hopefully you managed to complete the translation. Whether it was with or without support, that is absolutely fine. It's all about practicing now. And this is our answer. So, no quiero ir a la fiesta. I do not want to go to the party. You can have two options here. In addition, we would normally stick with this, además, but if you couldn't remember además, go for también. That's a great alternative. I cannot go out. No puedo salir. Stem changing verb, salir to go out, porque tengo que hacer mis deberes. So we've got our vocabulary here, and we've got our verbs and tenses. Y entonces, and then, tengo que ordenar mi dormitorio. I have to tidy my bedroom. Que aburrido. A lovely expression here. Remember that exclamations are que aburrido, que interesante, but justifying your opinion is normally going to be es interesante, es aburrido, es divertido. And then we've got a question last. ¿Puedes salir mañana? Can you go out tomorrow? Give yourself a smiley face or whatever you feel regarding how confident you are. And then for next lesson, it's going to hopefully be your translation assessment. So you need to spend some time between now and then looking at your 3 tenses, vocabulary from Knowledge Organizer 4, and the translation tips from this lesson. You can go to Quizlet as well to revise the vocab, and the link is on the worksheet. You will have time before the translation if you aren't sure between now and then. Otherwise, muchas gracias y adiós.